Welcome to Fantasy Fanfiction. American Comics. The Foundation's inventory at the beginning shocked the world. Chapter 11. She carefully observed the Plague Doctor's every move, hoping to find something useful. But she had no idea what the Plague Doctor was doing. It doesn't look like he's using magic. It is not exercising the duties of a doctor. And like an innocent child with terrifying power, playing with the toys wantonly. Asgard. After all, Loki is a god, so he will not react to the surgery. He watched every move of the Plague Doctor with disdain. He is indeed a lunatic. How could he possibly bring the corpse back to life? But the next moment, his eyes widened. As the Plague Doctor's surgery was completed. Crossbones' body slowly stood up. His eyes were empty and aimless. Movement is slow and directionless. It's like a body with its soul removed. Are you really alive? Appeared. Zombies. I saw a living zombie. I have no regrets in this life. This movie was shot so realistically. Doesn't this zombie's acting skill surpass that of Xiao Shanru 18 Streets in an instant? Upstairs, I don't allow you to insult zombies. How was this filmed? Those internal organs just now were too real. Hey, special effects. Technology is so advanced these days, is there anything strange about it? Shield. Nick shook his head in disbelief. What did he do? Was it magic? At the moment Nick Fury's little thoughts started to rise again. He looked at the zombies with greedy eyes. He couldn't control the Plague Doctor. But zombies can. Once his team arrives at the scene, they will capture the zombies for study. By then, we will definitely be able to dig out a lot of secrets. Maybe we can follow the clues and find out who the traitor in S.H.I.E.L.D. is. Thinking of this, he felt a little excited for a moment. On the light screen, the Plague Doctor moved very quickly. Soon after, all the corpses at the scene turned into walking zombies. Dozens of zombies wandering around in the open space are quite shocking. Looking at his work, the Plague Doctor was very upset. It happens again. This is not what I want. He shook his head constantly. Natasha Romanoff suppressed the turmoil in her stomach and asked, "What exactly do you want?" The Plague Doctor was about to speak. In the sky outside, several majestic helicopters roared towards them. Natasha Romanoff looked up. She discovered that this was not S.H.I.E.L.D.'s plane. Every plane has the Foundation's logo on it. The audience under the light curtain was very excited. This mysterious Foundation appears again. How will they deal with the Plague Doctor? I'm so nervous. Will the zombies eat them? Nick Fury stares at the screen. He wanted to see how people from the Foundation could tell what kind of Plague 049 was talking about. The Plague Doctor saw the Foundation's logo. Oh, they're coming. Soon, the plane landed. Dozens of heavily armed agents jumped down. Without saying a word, they raised their guns and shot at the zombies. The sound of rattling is endless, and the fire snake is constantly spitting. Soon, there was no more alive zombie on the scene. One of the agents quickly ran over to Natasha Romanoff and untied her. Then the agents lit a big fire. As the fire burned, what Nick Fury wanted turned into a pile of ashes. The Plague Doctor was not upset when he saw his work destroyed. Instead, he spread his hands and said, "Okay, I'll go with you." The audience was immediately shocked. He just followed those people. Is the Foundation so awesome? Killing all the zombies and making the Plague Doctor dare not do anything at all. Don't you dare. Didn't you say it before? Plague Doctors are friendly to all creatures without plague. Then how do people from the Foundation know that they don't have the plague on their bodies? Nick Fury's face looked as ugly as if he'd eaten a meal. Such a powerful anomaly just left with the people from the Foundation. Moreover, the people from the Foundation seemed to be doing it with ease. As if everything is under their control. This made Nick Fury blush with jealousy. If only S.H.I.E.L.D. could contain even one zombie. Foundation. It seems that they know what the doctor calls the plague. Otherwise, it would be impossible to take away such a dangerous monster so easily. Thinking of this, Nick felt an unknown anger in his heart. S.H.I.E.L.D. is something that you dare not touch, and it was taken away so easily by the Foundation. He will never admit this kind of judgment. He also made up his mind. When the next exception occurs, be sure to get it first. So, Nick called Captain America Stephen Falcon. There are also a large number of elite agents. Keep them ready to perform at any time. ASG. The doctor who made a low-level monster is interesting. I wonder, can he make Thor like that? In his eyes, the Plague Doctor is not that powerful, although his anomalous effects are interesting. Anyone in Asgard could easily kill him. It's just that the creatures on Earth are too weak, so everything they see looks like gods. Earth. At the moment the Plague Doctor is already on the plane. When the Foundation agents saw the SHIELD plane coming, they saluted Natasha Romanoff and got on the plane. At the moment, Natasha Romanoff noticed that not far away, a man with an extraordinary temperament wearing a mask was looking at her. That person was protected by a group of agents. But before she could think about it, he and everyone from the Foundation got on the plane. Not long after they left, the SHIELD agent also arrived. They moved quickly and put Natasha Romanoff on a stretcher. Nick was relieved to see Natasha Romanoff rescued. At least the best agent is fine. A SHIELD agent squatted down and carefully put the black ash on the ground into a large bucket. He also muttered, "Give these to our director, he will definitely reward me, hee hee." This scene made people laugh. Ha ha ha, why would the boss like Haihui? It made me laugh so hard. The director must have wanted to use zombies for research, but he couldn't keep up with the heat even after eating shit, ha 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 ha. Watching people laugh at me on the barrage. Nick's face was covered with black lines. At the moment, the other side of the world. In a small village in Samba country. Bruce Banner was hiding under the quilt and shivering. He struggled to control his emotions. Ever since the light curtain appeared, Hulk in Banner's body has become restless. Desperately trying to get out. Before, he could obviously control Banner very well. He had finally managed to live a stable life, but he didn't want to lose everything again. The other side. One of Banner's sworn enemies, General Ross, was carefully watching the pictures on his phone. Watching the Plague Doctor get on the plane, his eyes were filled with greed. What a beautiful creature. If I get its skin tissue, I can build an extremely powerful army. Indestructible, contact will kill. He thought to himself. General Ross's daughter, Betty, who was also Bruce's ex-girlfriend, sat next to Ross inside. She looked at his father's eyes and knew what he was thinking. "Bruce, where have you been?" Her beautiful eyes were full of worry. Ross informed all personnel to dispatch as soon as there is news of new containment objects. In the vast desert, several military off-road vehicles were speeding. Tony was sitting in one of them. He was watching the picture on the light screen on his mobile phone. It's really wonderful. At the moment, a beautiful soldier sitting in the front seat turned around, blushing. "Mr. Stark, can you take a picture with me?" Tony smiled and adjusted his suit. Definitely. Naturally, he would not refuse the beauty's kindness. If you're lucky, you won't be lonely tonight. But unfortunately, Tony's dream was shattered the next moment. A rocket accurately hit the off-road vehicle Tony was riding in. There was a boom. The car was blown up and flipped several times in the air. Tony fell out of the car and rolled on the ground several times. His mind went blank. He touched his chest and saw a pool of blood. He looked at the fragments of the missile on the ground, clearly emblazoned with the Stark Industries logo. Then, he fell into coma. Anomaly Containment Foundation Base. As soon as Liu Yi got off the plane, he received a prompt from the system. Congratulations on completing the science popularization of Abnormal Containment Object 049 Plague Doctor. You have now received 30 million sharing points. Congratulations on getting an extra reward, Anomaly Delivery. Any anomaly you get can be released to every corner of the world. Liu Yi's eyes lit up. This is great. This is a very powerful ability. For example, if Liu Yi obtains the zombie virus, he can throw it into SHIELD's spaceship from a distance, watch Nick Fury turn into a zombie, and eat all the SHIELD agents. Ding! You have unlocked the hero summoning pool. By consuming legendary values, you can randomly summon legendary characters from the Foundation or legendary teams. Ding! You have unlocked the legendary item pool. By consuming legendary values, you can randomly summon powerful equipment or equipment, such as the Scranton Reality Anchor. Scranton Reality Anchor. That's a good thing. It's used to deal with reality benders. Liu Yi said excitedly. Later, abnormal containment objects that can distort reality will definitely invade the world. If there is a stable anchor, there will be capital for confrontation. Lu Yi looked at the **point sharing value in the panel and was very satisfied. I don't believe it. With so much sharing value, you still can't get any money out. Stud. Lu Yi took a breath of heat into his hand. 10 minutes later, Lu Yi looked at the blue quality items on the ground and fell into deep thought. It seems, the fate of smelly hands has not changed in this world. However, fortunately, the pool is guaranteed. Moreover, this sharing value can be earned back by popularizing an exception. As long as you can get the stabilizing anchor, spending 100 million legendary points is not a waste. College. Scott and Jean Grey walked together. Scott looked very excited. Chin, I have a big surprise for you. The two of them walked into the garage. Chin glanced around. The garage was no different from usual. What is the surprise you are talking about? Scott glanced around, and the smile on his face gradually disappeared. He hugged his head. Fake. Where is my car? On the spacious highway. A handsome big Harley was speeding, making a roaring sound. Wolverine is wearing a leather jacket and holding a cigar, sitting in the car. He did not follow the other X-Men, but planned to make peace with the past himself. Soon after, Stryker's base appeared in Wolverine's sight from a distance. Under the expectations of people with evil intentions. The picture of the light curtain changed again. Inventory of abnormal contained objects, 9th place. Look, a new containment object is coming. What could it be? It must be something cooler than the Plague Doctor. Everyone's expectations were raised again. Nick Fury held his forehead and took a breath. So the terrifying Plague Doctor has just been taken into custody, and another one comes. The contained objects in this ranking are definitely becoming more and more dangerous. What containment could be more dangerous than a Plague Doctor and a shy person? 7th Abnormal Containment Object 173 Sculpture Peanut. Project Level, EU. Special Containment Procedures. Anomalous Containment Object 173 should always be kept in a locked room. When it is necessary to enter the room of Abnormal Containment Object 173, the number of people must not be less than 3, and it must be relocked. At least 2 people need to maintain eye contact with Abnormal Containment Object 173 at all times until everyone has left the containment room and locked it. Close black lens bracket. What does this mean? Eye contact has to be maintained. Can humans enter its containment room? I don't think this anomaly is very dangerous. I think so too. Sculpting a peanut. It sounds very cute and not offensive at all. Hey, do shy people sound aggressive? Aren't they still so scary? Shield. The number of people must be at least 3. Did they need to maintain eye contact throughout the process? Nick felt a chill in his heart. What would have happened if this hadn't been done? On the light screen, the subtitles were updated. When viewed by anyone, Abnormal Containment Object 173 is no different from an ordinary statue. Close black lens bracket. If no one is looking at the Abnormal Containment Object 173, it will move at high speed and kill all targets within the range. The specific method is, break the cervical vertebrae. Close black lens bracket. In the containment room of Abnormal Containment Object 173, the sound of scraping stones can occasionally be heard. This is a normal phenomenon. Close black lens bracket. Holy crap. Don't look away, or your cervical spine will be broken. Hiss. These abnormal containment objects are really weirder than the last. I think this one is scarier than the first 2. The first 2 can at least make you understand, but this one, as soon as you look away, click, it's gone. Why is this level also EU? Is it the same as the previous 2? Is it also very strong? Shield. Nick Fury suddenly felt a chill on his neck. At the same time, his little head started working again. The information states that it appeared in the containment room, which shows that as long as this thing is locked up, there is no danger. Nick thought to himself, then, even if this thing appears on Shield's spaceship, it doesn't matter, as long as a few agents keep an eye on it, it can be contained. Nick immediately cheered up. He called in Hill and asked her to notify everyone. Once the specific location of Little Peanut appears in the light curtain, set out immediately to contain it. Kamar Taj. The moment Ancient One read the information, he roughly guessed it. Little Peanut's true identity should be an evil soul attached to a statue. If so, it's far more dangerous than what's depicted on the light curtain. What would happen if we locked it in the mirror space? Ancient One thought so. Under Lu Yi's control, the light curtain began to play the picture. In the underground base, in a pool of huge amounts of adamantium liquid is boiling. This is the most valuable thing about Stryker. Colonel Stryker was standing in front of the monitor. Beside him was a woman with an Asian face. She is Death Girl, Stryker's most proud work, and has more powerful abilities than Logan. Stryker looked at the monitor screen. Logan is heading towards the base. Somewhere underground, in a plastic prison, Magneto Eric was lying on the white bed, looking at the light curtain above his head. "My old friend, this is your fault." He smiled. From the beginning of the inventory video, a light curtain appeared above Eric's head. He had no idea where it came from, but soon confirmed that it was what happened in reality. As an old rival, Eric knew. Charles will definitely go to Stryker's base. He was looking forward to what would happen when Charles saw the anomaly that broke his cervical vertebrae. "I'm afraid, not only will Charles be unable to move his legs, but his neck will also become crooked." Charles, who was watching the light screen, suddenly frowned. Stryker appeared on the light screen. This means that 173 appeared in his lair. And, Logan actually went by himself. Thinking of this, Charles panicked. Although Logan has strong self-healing ability. However, the previous 096 and 049 made Charles feel. These abnormalities cannot be viewed from a normal perspective. No matter how powerful your ability is, it may not be enough for them. If 173 really screwed Logan's head off, Charles would regret it for the rest of his life. He immediately asked all the X-Men to set off immediately. Stryker looked at the monitor. He smiled slightly. "Look who's here, my greatest work, Logan." He turned to look at Death Woman. "Unfortunately, it is not the most powerful work. It's time for you to show off. Prove to me that you are better than him." Death Woman nodded, and the adamantium in her fingers made a crunching sound. Suddenly, a scream came from far away. Then there was the sound of machine gun fire. Then there was another scream. The scream stopped suddenly, which was very strange. Then everything went quiet, as if nothing happened. Stryker's expression condensed. He had a bad feeling. Logan came in so soon. He and Death Woman immediately ran in that direction. Several mutants ran after them. "Is that sculpture really here? I'm getting goosebumps. Those people are mutants, right? If we meet 173, it's hard to say who will win. Little Peanut must win. The two powerful anomalies we counted before are a dimensionality-reducing blow to Earth's creatures. Pull them down. Have you seen how powerful mutants are? Can humans compare to them? It was a movie and you got into an argument." Looking at the mutant in the light curtain, Charles felt extremely sad. There are even his students here. Even with his intelligence, he couldn't figure it out. Why would a mutant help an evil human being to harm his own countrymen? Underground prison. Looking at the mutant traitor in the light curtain, Eric smiled slightly. "You must not understand, Charles. Just like I can't figure out why you, as a mutant, would help humans." Asgard. Looking at those mutants, Loki thought, Odin seems to have said that these species are the test subjects of a powerful existence in Midgard. I heard that in the world of Midgard, they have a noble status and are loved by all. It's really ridiculous. He walked slowly. If I go to the world of Midgard, they will definitely worship me and respect me as the highest god. Thinking of this, an idea popped into Loki's mind. Perhaps I can find a lot of fun by going to the world of Midgard myself. He looked in the direction of Bifrost. Lu Yi cuts off the scene before Stryker and the mutants encounter Little Peanut. "Give the camera to Logan." At the moment, Logan got out of the car and walked towards the gate of the base. He took a deep breath and stretched out his paw. Draw a big X directly on it. He kicked off the steel plate and walked in. As soon as he entered, Logan smelled an ominous smell. Make his hair stand on end. Logan suddenly became alert. He hadn't felt like this in a long time. In the corridor, it was pitch dark. Broken lights above, exposed wires on the wall, and occasional sparks. Moreover, the smell of blood also spread. Logan's nose moved, and the ominous premonition became stronger. The audience also became nervous. After walking for a while, Logan saw the body on the ground. A man was lying on the ground crookedly, his head twisted 360 degrees, his neck was stretched out, his tongue was hanging out, and his eyes were wide open, as if they were about to burst out. Judging from decedent's purple, very sharp nails, he is a mutant. Logan could smell that this man had no breath left. Under the light curtain, some timid people were frightened and fainted. This man's neck was broken by something alive. This scene is really impactful. Oh my god, what did that sculpture do? I just didn't know that a person's neck can be stretched so long. I won't eat duck neck this month. My neck hurts too, guys. Sure enough, each of these anomalies is scarier than the last. Fortunately, there are no such things in reality. Charles has been trying to contact Logan, but Stryker's base blocks the telepathy's ability. Not to mention ordinary electromagnetic signals. This made him anxious. Logan, don't let anything happen. Charles regretted notifying Logan of the mission in advance. He should have expected that Logan was a maverick. Kamar Taj. All the magic apprentices felt fear. Ancient One said thoughtfully, Logan. She knows Logan's future fate. From the god of war who stood in the way of killing people and killing Buddhas, he became a stubborn dusk wolf who couldn't even stretch out his claws. In the end, he died fighting for his daughter. The Sun Chaser also became an impossible dream, just like the future of Mutant. Previously, Eye of Agamotto showed that Logan's future had also been changed. However, Ancient One doesn't know what it will become, whether it will be good or bad. In the light curtain, Logan walked into an empty hall. The smell of gunpowder smoke, the smell of blood, and the smell of burning superpowers are also the strongest. Under dim light, Logan saw a statue. The thing's body was human-shaped, as bloated as a peanut. The face is indescribably weird. The arms were covered with blood, dripping constantly. This thing had an unknown smell that sent shivers down Logan's spine. He felt instinctively dangerous. This thing is more than just a statue. Around the statue, there were several corpses, both male and female. Without exception, they all died from their cervical vertebrae being broken. At the moment, a voice shouted, Logan, you're finally here. After hearing the sound, Logan looked over there. I saw Stryker opening his arms, looking very excited, my greatest work. Stryker was talking to him, but his eyes strangely kept staring at the statue, as if he didn't dare to look away. The moment Logan saw Stryker, a residual memory flashed through his mind. Who are you? Logan asked confused. Oh, don't you even remember me? Stryker's face was full of madness. I am your creator, your father, the person you should respect the most. Have you forgotten? Forgot how you got at all of this? With a bang, fragments of memory flooded into Logan's mind like a wave. Submerged in a pool, the skeleton was infused with adamantium. Rage, kill, escape from prison. Girlfriend, cheating, sacrifice. Logan covered his head and knelt down in pain. Those fragments were like pairs of hands covered with spikes, kneading his brain like dough. At the moment, Stryker yelled, right now. Suddenly, Logan's eyes widened. He felt a sharp pain in his chest. He looked down in disbelief. I saw 5 sharp claws piercing his chest. Logan suddenly vomited blood. Logan's body was shaking due to the severe injuries and the headache caused by the flashbacks. But his recovery ability is extremely strong and he reacted quickly. He looked back. I saw a woman smiling viciously. You're just a failure, Logan. She raised her other hand and inserted her claws into Logan's body again. Logan struggled desperately, but Death Woman was extremely strong. Death Girl began to pull her hands upward, trying to tear Logan directly in half. In this case, he will die completely. Logan saw the right moment and kicked Death Woman's knee. With a click, Death Woman's legs bent to 90 degrees. Logan yelled, grabbed Death Girl's hand and pushed her back. The claws were pulled out of his body, and Death Girl was pushed to the ground and rolled several times. Her legs recovered with a click and she quickly stood up. It's just a useless struggle. Death Girl showed an evil smile. She seemed confident enough to kill Logan with ease. Logan held out his paw. The two fought fiercely together. Adamantium collided. The sound of clanking and crackling is endless. Sparks flew everywhere. Logan was injured frequently and recovered quickly. He knew that this was not the way to go. But for a while he couldn't find a way to break the situation. Suddenly, Stryker yelled in horror, "Quick!" Death Woman immediately raised her head and stared at the statue. Taking this opportunity, Logan dug his claws into her heart and forced her back. But even so, Death Woman still stared at the statue. This got Logan thinking, why does Stryker keep staring at that statue? Now, this woman wants to stare at it too. Judging from the blood on that thing's arms, those mutants and soldiers whose necks were broken. Logan was shocked. He suddenly thought of a terrifying urban legend that was popular decades ago. You must look the evil spirit in the eye or it will kill you. If this sculpture is that kind of evil spirit, then everything makes sense. In addition, an inventory of abnormal contained objects that have appeared in the past few days. Could it be that that's not a movie, but a real thing? Abnormal containment objects just happened to invade here. Not allowing Logan to think, Death Woman directly grabbed Logan's wrist. Pulled his claws out of his body. Then, she threw Logan out. Then, he opened his claws and pounced again. Logan saw the right moment and slit the woman's throat. The other claw scratched her eye. Then, Logan rushed towards Stryker. Stryker was shocked, but he didn't dare to look away from Little Peanut's face. "No, no, don't come over, what do you want to do?" Logan immediately controlled Stryker from behind. Stryker screamed in horror and struggled desperately. But his strength is no match for Logan. Logan pressed his claws against Stryker's throat. "Stryker, no, no, Logan, I was just kidding you, don't kill me." Death Girl recovered as before, got up, and rushed over with all her strength. Logan stared at her, waiting for his moment. Death Girl rushed in front of Little Peanut. At this moment, Logan, Death Girl, and Peanut are in a straight line. Peanut is behind Death Girl. At the moment, Death Woman must not be able to see Little Peanut, and she is closest to Little Peanut. This is the moment Logan has been waiting for. He smiled slightly and covered Stryker's eyes with his hands. Then, he also closed his eyes. Under the light curtain, everyone heard a crisp sound. Crack. This is the sound of adamantium's bones being broken. The moment I heard the sound, Logan opened his eyes immediately. He saw that Little Peanut had already arrived in front of him. Logan's heart was pounding. Peanut's speed surprised him. Fortunately, he opened his eyes in time. Logan knew that Death Girl was dead. Because he couldn't smell her breath. Under the light curtain, everyone was shocked. Wow, this is so cool. Use the abnormal limit to counterattack. Too strong. Even in such a situation, you can stay calm even in the face of danger. If it were the case, I would have peed my pants. A powerful woman, coupled with a dangerous anomaly, I really thought that man was going to die. I didn't expect. It's so exciting. My heart can't take it anymore. It's awesome, it's awesome. I never thought that someone could survive in the face of anomalies. Not only did this person survive, he also used it to kill his opponent. Charles stared at the light screen in disbelief. Logan, you did it. Eric suddenly laughed. Logan, I will never underestimate you again. It seems that there are more than just a few pieces of broken metal in your body. Nick Fury's eyes widened. He actually. How could he? How did he think of it? Now, it was Stryker's turn to be scared. He originally planned to use Peanut to kill Logan, and then take Peanut in for research. As long as it succeeds, it doesn't matter if a few men die. However, things went against his wishes, and he lost his wife, and lost his troops. Look, Logan, there must be some misunderstanding between us, can you believe? Shut up, Stryker, you've been telling lies since World War II, and I've heard enough of them. Besides, you bastard, you don't even let kids go. Logan kicked Stryker's leg off, and the latter howled miserably. Then, he stared at the Little Peanut and kept retreating until he reached the entrance of the hall. Then, he picked up a broken piece of cement wall and used it to block the doorway with a bang. In this way, Peanut and Stryker are trapped together. How long Stryker survives depends on how long he doesn't blink. Judging from his performance just now, he won't be able to hold on for long. Logan did not leave the base, but went to where Stryker was holding the mutants. Looking at those innocent eyes, Logan sighed. He waved his claws and split the locks one by one. Then, Logan took them away. On the way, Stryker's desperate screams were heard. A few seconds later, the crisp sound of fractures sounded. A little girl looked at Logan. What is that sound? Logan smiled slightly. That's the sound of the nightmare ending. He led the mutant children out of the base. Soon, the sound of propellers sounded in the air. Logan looked up and saw several helicopters flying over. He recognized the Foundation's logo on the plane. He suddenly became alert. He is currently not sure whether the Foundation is good or evil. After all, mutant is an anomaly to a certain extent. Soon, the helicopter landed. Dozens of well-trained agents ran down. Their equipment was more luxurious than the last time they appeared on the light screen. Thanks to Lu Yi for sharing. One of the helicopters did not land. Beneath it hangs a huge amount of concrete prison. There is a smaller prison inside this prison. The agents pushed out of the small jail. Logan stood in front of the gate, smoking a cigar and watching them with interest. The agent captain stepped forward and saluted. Hello, Mr. Logan, we are the Anomaly Containment Foundation and have been ordered to contain Anomaly Containment Object 173. Logan stepped out of the way. I'm not interested in that broken statue, but I want to remind you, that thing will break your neck. Thanks for the reminder, we will pay attention. Several agents used laser guns to cut open the door so that the prison could be entered. They entered Stryker's base in an orderly manner. After a while, they put 173 in the cement prison and pushed him out. Then, they pushed the small prison into the big prison again. Logan looked at their smooth operation and was a little surprised. It seems that they have been prepared. Before getting on the plane, the agent captain handed Logan a small black box. This is what our commander asked me to leave to you. We contain, we control, and we protect. See you later, Mr. Logan. Afterwards, the agents got on the plane. Logan opened the box. After seeing what's inside, his eyes suddenly hardened. At the moment, the X-Men's plane also landed here. Chin took the lead and walked over. I didn't expect that these anomalies and this foundation are real. You are amazing, Logan, alone. Scott ran over and interrupted Chin. Logan, you better not damage my motorcycle, or I will kill you. Don't worry. Your car is fine. It just had a flat tire and a few flakes of paint. Logan took a puff of his cigar. Scott almost had a heart attack. Chin looked at the children. We need to send another plane over to take them back to X Academy. Nick Fury looked at the light screen in disbelief. That old man, Professor DeWitt. It seems that Professor. At the same time, his competitive spirit was once again ignited. He secretly vowed to contain an anomaly in the future. He wants to prove that S.H.I.E.L.D. is no worse than the Foundation. Suddenly, Hill hurried over, his chest trembling. His expression was a little panicked. Director, it's not good. What's so urgent, Hill? I told you to stay calm in any situation. Stark was attacked, Director. His life or death is unknown. What? Nick Fury suddenly couldn't calm down. Although Stark is a jerk, he is one of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s important partners. If something happens to him, it means that S.H.I.E.L.D.'s funds, informants, technology, etc. will be affected. Can you find him, Hill? Nick Fury tried not to make his voice tremble. I have sent agents to investigate. Now, we can only wait, Director. Asgard. Loki smiled slightly. It is indeed a test subject of a powerful existence. Compared with those monkeys, it is somewhat intelligent. There seems to be a very interesting thing living inside that statue. That ridiculous Foundation didn't notice it at all and took him in like this. It's really stupid and arrogant. Loki turned back and looked at the location of the Asgard Palace. It's a pity, Father, that you didn't get to see such an interesting thing. Odin at the moment had fallen into a deep sleep. But what Loki didn't know was that Odin could see his every move even while sleeping. Odin at the moment was looking at Loki. Loki, if I trick Odin into the room where the peanut sculpture is, can it break Odin's neck? Ding, congratulations on completing the science popularization of the abnormal containment object, the sculptured peanut. You have now obtained 45 million sharing points. So many. You have received an additional reward, level 3 abnormal status resistance. It's great. Lu Yi felt an indescribable change in his body. Level 3 abnormal state resistance allows Lu Yi to resist the effects of contained objects on him. Includes corrosion, burning, fear, some level of cognitohazard resistance, and more. This is a huge amount of enhancement for him. If he obtains the succubus girl, he will not be affected by her abnormality and will be able to touch her. I'm a serious person, and I definitely don't think about succubus girls anymore. Popularizing science about anomalies is the main thing. Ding, please be careful, a new abnormal containment object is about to invade this world. Lu Yi moved his shoulders, so fast. Let me see, the next anomaly to be invaded is. Under Lu Yi's operation, the light curtain began to change. Inventory of abnormal contained objects, 6th place. 9th place in inventory of abnormal contained objects. Open black lens bracket Wanyu Angel close black lens bracket. Nick Fury gasped. A new one coming so soon. Are you going to let people live? Angel. It sounds very holy, but it is certainly not a good thing. After all, Doctor, sounds very sacred, but who knew it was a terrifying monster? Nick subconsciously looked back at the interior of the spacecraft. I was afraid that the next anomaly would come directly into the spacecraft. Stark's accident troubled him. They also wanted to discuss issues related to the Foundation with Stark. Not unlike Nick Fury's concerns. Most of the audience was still very excited. After all, the last movie gave them a big shock. Angel. Could it be the angel from the Bible? That would be so cool. Yeah, I've never seen a living angel. It's said that angels are all hermaphrodites. Let's see what they look like. This is not fun to watch. I do think this thing might be as scary as the previous anomalies. I agree. Now that I think about those colorful intestines, I just. Asgard, Loki looked at the light curtain playfully. Angel, the boring myth of Earthlings. As a true god of Asgard, Loki has always disdained the myths of other worlds. Although he said so, the last anomaly, the sculptured peanut, aroused Loki's full interest. He is now looking forward to what this Wanyu angel will be like. If necessary, it is okay to deign to go to the world of Midgard and see it for yourself. Loki is confident that if he wants to bring back an anomaly from the world of Midgard, the so-called Foundation will not be able to stop it. Kamar Taj. Not a simple angel, but an angel of 10,000 views. The Ancient One stood on the edge of the cliff with his hands behind his back, watching the light curtain in the sky. The vast snow-capped mountains set off his excellent temperament. However, this name does not sound like a dark creature. Despite this, Ancient One is still prepared. After all, this anomaly could appear anywhere. Including Kamar Taj. At that time, you will have to take action deliberately. Meanwhile, inside the Kamar Taj Hall, a man who looked to be in his 30s with long gray hair was sitting on a worn-out sofa. His eyes looked calm, but actually they contained viciousness. This person is none other than the beloved disciple of the Ancient One, Caecilius. He had long since betrayed the Ancient One and gone to Dormammu. Beside him, several men and women sat on the ground around him. They are all true believers of Dormammu. Angel, that sounds extremely disgusting. As soon as this was said, others agreed. Caecilius had already passed the forbidden curse and became a believer in Dormammu. What he wants to do now is to kill the Ancient One in order to welcome Dormammu's arrival. But he was afraid of the Ancient One's strength. After all, this is not making a movie. The dignified Sorcerer Supreme will not be stabbed to death easily. Not to mention being thrown to death from a height of just a few hundred meters. But these anomalies piqued Caecilius's interest. He planned to continue watching the video. Perhaps, there are some anomalies that can be used against the Ancient One. In addition, General Ross was also staring at the light curtain with wide eyes. Angel, what a beautiful name. Ross said with emotion, the Foundation always moves so quickly. But we can always get one of the anomaly containment objects. At the moment, one of his subordinates said to him, General, we have found the address of Bruce Banner. He is in a rural area in Samba country. Do we? Idiot, with the anomalous containment, what else do I need help to do? I already had his blood. Everyone obeys the order and is ready to go. We must take down this angel. The light curtain changes again. Abnormal contained object 469, Wanyu Angel. Project level, Ket. Abnormal contained object 10,000 feathers Angel, looks like a ball of huge amounts of white feathers. In its initial form, its mass is estimated to be several tons. Close black lens bracket. But these white feathers are actually many pairs of huge amounts of wings. Also, the file size of each pair of wings is different. As small as microns and as large as hundreds of meters. Close black lens bracket. The level is Ket. Nick captured this point keenly. The last abnormal level was Euclid, right? Ket, is it a higher level than him? The Euclid level anomaly is already so terrifying, how terrifying will the Ket level anomaly be? A lot of pairs of huge amounts of wings. Is that where it gets its name? The light curtain continues to change. Through experiments, it has been shown that the wings of the abnormal containment object Wanyu Angel are similar in structure to the wings of birds, but they are very tough and will not be broken even if they are bent to a considerable extent. No bird can do it. Close black lens bracket. Latest reports indicate that all wings are connected to their most central location. Close black lens bracket. The center of it is a fetus-like creature. All the wings are connected to his back in a special way. Close black lens bracket. Audience under the light curtain. No matter how it sounds, it doesn't sound like a dangerous creature. I think so too. How dangerous can a fetus be? What's more, it's an angel. Indeed, a fetus with wings on its body sounds more earthly than a doctor whose skin is clothes and a sculpture with a broken neck. So, does Ket mean safety? Shield. Hundreds of wings, growing on the back of the fetus. How weird is that? Nick thought like this. After being baptized by other anomalies, Nick no longer has beautiful illusions about anomalies. Unless, the light curtain says it is absolutely safe. In this way, Nick will take action. On the other side, Ancient One searched in his mind. She really hadn't heard of anything like it. However, for some reason, the word, Ket, gave her a bad feeling. Under everyone's expectations, the information on the light curtain was updated again. Abnormal containment object Wanyu Angel can eat sounds and sound waves and convert them into energy to grow his feathers and wings. Close black lens bracket. The higher the frequency and intensity of sound and sound waves, the faster the feathers and wings of Wanyu Angel will grow. Close black lens bracket. Wanyu Angel loves any form of sound and sound waves, especially rhythmic sounds. Close black lens bracket. Because the abnormal containment object Wanyu Angel will absorb any sound and sound waves, it is originally absolutely quiet. Close black lens bracket. Absorbing sound and sound waves. In other words, it originally doesn't make a little sound. Based on my superficial knowledge of junior high school physics, sound and sound waves have no energy, right? Don't take it too seriously, it's just a movie. Isn't the Hulk's Kuchazi more outrageous? Even missiles can't blow it up. So, can these wings grow infinitely? No, right. Wouldn't this make it bigger than the Earth? Compared with this, I still want to know what the things inside the wings look like. Inside shield. Nick's remaining small eye was rolling. This thing looks like it can be contained. Just cover it with absolutely soundproof material. Shield can do it, he thought to himself. He planned to send a group of agents to contain the thing once he played the video and found out where it appeared. But at the same time, he is also worried about its harmfulness. Absorbing sound, the feathers grow. Could it be that? Thinking of this, Nick became a little scared again. Kamar Taj. Ancient One has never seen a real angel, but she always feels that the description of this thing does not sound like a holy existence. She encountered a dark creature whose ability was to absorb human fears to make itself grow. Therefore, it will seek out gathering places of humans and carry out brutal massacres to create a mood of fear. Wanyu Angel, the higher the frequency of sound absorbed, the faster it will grow. Isn't the high-frequency sound a scream? I wonder if this Wanyu Angel will actively seek out human screams. On the light screen, the text continues to be updated. Abnormal containment object, Wanyu Angel, will use its wings to drag any creature that is too close into it. The wings are extremely soft, but the feathers have spikes that can easily damage the skin of the creature. Subsequently, a neurotoxin will be released, which will cause the target to suffer great pain without causing it to die quickly. Close black lens bracket. In this way, the creature is stimulated to scream loudly to promote the growth of its wings until the victim dies of shock. Currently, all attempts to eliminate Wanyu Angel have failed, including data deleted and data deleted. Gift crab. This thing is called Angel. Even Satan has to have it tattooed on his body. Catch a person and torture him slowly without giving him any pleasure. How cruel. My God. How can this be, Angel? You are blaspheming my faith. I will sue you. Even the Foundation can't do anything about it. So isn't this thing much stronger than a shy person? I think this thing should be called Angel. Kamar Taj. The Ancient One's idea was confirmed. This is a very dangerous creature. It seems that he may take action this time. She imagined a giant ball of feathers occupying half the world. Billions of living beings were caught in it, wailing in pain. Until there are no more living things on this planet. Her expression became serious. She would never allow such a thing to happen. If the Earth really became like that, there would be no point in her fight against the Dark Lord. Shield. Nick felt a chill. He felt that this thing was more disgusting and terrifying than the Plague Doctor. The latter can at least communicate. And this one, if he dares to communicate with him, is waiting to be tortured to death. However, Nick discovered a blind spot. It says that all current attempts to eliminate it have failed. What if we simply contain it instead of destroying it? Nick thought so. Did the Foundation not think of this? Asgard. Loki snorted coldly. As expected, it's just a weak organization. At this level, any small god in Tiangong can destroy it. That Foundation can't do anything about it. Seeing the fear of the people on Earth towards Wanyu Angel, Loki's sense of superiority swelled again. If I went to Midgard, brought this thing back to Asgard, and gave it to Thor as a gift, he would probably be shocked. Loki smiled slightly. But then I thought, however, Thor can easily deal with it. In this case, there is no need to bring it. I hope that the subsequent containment objects will be more interesting. He doesn't plan to go to Earth now. Because the contained objects he has seen so far cannot be discerned by him. Earth. People are looking forward to the next Wanyu Angel. In everyone's nervous and expectant mood. The light curtain opens. Play screen. A figure lying on the bed gradually emerged. After seeing his appearance clearly, everyone was immediately surprised. Tony Stark. A very weak-looking figure with instruments and tubes inserted into his body appeared on the light screen. Beside him stood a tall, thin man in a white coat. This person is Dr. Yinsen. Stark slowly opened his eyes. He felt a little cold around him. The damp smell flooded into his nostrils. He looked around and saw a very empty cave. There were many instruments placed around him. He slowly got up. Want to touch the hose on me? Yinsen said slowly. If I were you, I wouldn't touch them. Where is this? What's wrong with me? Stark seemed to have had a long dream, a little confused. Ah, my chest. What did you do to me? At the moment, Stark discovered in horror that a big hole had been dug in his chest. He became frightened and his lips trembled. How could a playboy who had no worries about food and clothing have ever experienced this? Dr. Yinsen said calmly, have you forgotten? You were attacked by a bomb, and the fragments entered your body. So, I installed something in your body that can prevent the fragments from entering your heart. Stark was stunned for a moment before he began to remember what happened. A certain military region. Stark's good brother, Colonel Rhodes, looked at Stark's panicked expression and almost laughed out loud. Presumably, this expression will be on the headlines of tomorrow's newspapers. After all, Stark pays great attention to his image and has never leaked a single ugly photo. But Rhodes soon became serious. After all, Stark was his best friend. He began to gather people to rescue him. He knew that Stark was currently in a base in the Middle East. People started discussing, isn't this Tony Stark? He also acted in a movie. The investors are really rich. Can we really hire him? He won't be an actor who looks very similar to him, right? No, I am a die-hard fan of Stark. I guarantee with my life that it is definitely him. Stark's acting is great. That sense of panic, that haggard feeling after being injured. Lou has become a fan. At the moment, one person seemed to have discovered a piece of incredible news. Brothers. Tony Stark, it seems like he is really missing. What? People started checking the news. No way. So, all of this, isn't it movie? It all happened in real time. My scalp is numb right now. So this inventory video is all about what is happening right now. Oh my god, so, there really are such horrible things as Peanut and 096 in this world. No way. Now, some people think these anomalies are real, while some people still don't believe it. But no matter what, Everyone's expectations have been further raised. Everyone wants to know what happens next. Are these true or false? What is Stark's fate? Lu Yi's share value is also rising. Shield. Director, we have located the exact location of Tony Stark. Hill walked over with a serious look on his long legs. Quick, don't wait any longer, act now. Nick ordered at the same time. The planes on the deck were already ready to take off immediately. They carry special soundproofing materials and prepare to save Stark. Nick was a little worried, but also a little happy. He didn't want Stark to die there. Fortunately, that one new angel did not appear in the downtown area. Otherwise, the other side, Star had to accept a reality. He has been kidnapped and his life is in danger at any time. Now he is forced to build missiles for the Middle East. But in his mind, a plan was quietly sprouting. Yinsen seemed to see what he was thinking. If you want to escape, I advise you to give up this idea as soon as possible. There are cameras here and they are guarded 24 hours a day. Your every move is under their surveillance. Stark glanced at the camera. Then he lowered his head and smiled. Then escape right under their noses. Yinsen. Yinsen looked at him like a mental patient. What a good plan. What do you know? A blueprint was quietly forming in Tony's mind. It was this blueprint that started 10 years of glory in another universe. If they ask me to make missiles, then I will make them for them. Tony continued, it's just that I will make other things. Dr. Yinsen raised his eyebrows. He had long heard that Tony Stark was a genius among geniuses. Normal people are kidnapped into the lair of terrorists and don't even have time to cry. This guy has already figured out how to escape. It looked like he was serious. What are you planning to do? Yinsen asked with interest. A huge amount of armor, indestructible. It's easy. Just take a few pieces of iron sheet and paste it on your body, but you still can't escape. Who said it only has defensive capabilities? Not only does it have powerful firepower, it can also fly into the sky. You have to know that in that case, the armor would require a very large amount of energy, probably as much as nuclear fission. Then create an energy core capable of nuclear fission. Tony raised his head. Don't wait, let's start now. You're a lunatic, Tony Stark. I'll take it as a compliment. Tony cheered up and began to inspect the entire cave. After a while, he found a white furry thing squirming in the corner of the cave. Tony, hey, doctor, what is that? He found that as he spoke, the thing seemed to squirm more violently. Yinsen also looked over there. I don't know what that thing is, it's been here since the beginning. Under the light curtain, as the camera moved, everyone also saw one new angel. It looked very soft, and those feathers were constantly wriggling. It seems that it is still getting bigger. Shit, it's here. One new angel. It's over, Stark is over now. Stark, can you stop talking? Don't you notice it's constantly getting bigger? Shut up, Stark, and that bald head. It's killing me. Nick. Fury also clenched his fists. Stark said a few words, and one new angel became so much bigger. This speed was beyond his expectation. He looked at the map and saw that his fleet was constantly approaching the Middle East. Stark, you're the one who messed with Fog. Shut your mouth. Asgard. Loki crossed his arms. Midgardians are really stupid. They don't notice the danger. He moved closer to the light curtain. He wanted to take a closer look at how one new angel tortured Tony Stark to death. At the moment, Tony stared at the mass seriously. After observing for a while, Yinsen, is this my imagination, or has it gotten bigger? Yinsen looked at it carefully with his eyes soaked in more than 600 degrees, it seems so. It is much bigger than at the beginning. I thought this thing was a pet raised by those soldiers. Tony had been watching it. He discovered that if there was no sound, the thing would stop moving. To test his idea, he covered Yinsen's mouth. Before Yinsen could close his mouth, he tasted a salty taste. Just as he was about to complain, he noticed that Stark made a silencing gesture. He looked at the tuft of feathers. The amplitude of the squirming has indeed become smaller. Yinsen is also a smart man and no longer struggles. Stark breathed a sigh of relief. Although I don't know what that thing is, it seems that the sound can affect it. Suddenly, he thought of the light curtain he had seen before. Anomaly, Foundation, Plague Doctor, Invasion. Could it be that all of this is true? That mass of feathers is also an anomaly. just happened to appear in this cave. Is there such a coincidence in this world? Don't think blindly, Tony, this thing is just a bird with feathers. Tony comforted himself in his heart. Under the light curtain. Ah, good. Now just keep quiet and wait for the Foundation to take in Wanyu Angel. Yeah, luckily Stark is a smart guy. It's really scary. Fortunately, this thing didn't appear in New York. By the way, where was Stark captured? On the plane. Rhodes' heart relaxed. This bitcha. At the moment, the Middle East. Through the monitor, a man saw the unusual behavior of Stark and Yinsen. Moreover, I don't know when there was a white ball in the cave. He immediately grabbed the gun, kicked open the door, and rushed towards the cave with a curse. Stark and Yinsen are thinking about countermeasures. The people under the light curtain also just felt relieved. Suddenly, there was a loud bang. Wanyu Angel instantly expanded in a big circle. A man walked in with a gun pointed at Stark and Yinsen. What tricks are you two playing? What is that white ball? He roared. With huge amounts of sound, Wanyu Angel began to expand rapidly. Now, Tony Stark could no longer lie to himself. That thing is not a bird at all. Colonel Rhodes looked at the rapidly expanding angel of 10,000 views on the screen. He was anxious and urged the driver in front, hurry up, hurry up. Ancient One looked at the light curtain in the sky and stretched out 2 fingers. If things get out of control, she will take action. But she won't take action until the last minute. Because every time she uses her power, Dormammu will come to the earth a moment earlier. Others under the light curtain were also extremely anxious. Wow, I could still control it, but now it's over. Asshole. Shut up. It's over, it's over. Please give the Foundation some help and rescue Stark quickly. Definitely, there are people who don't like Stark. I hope Stark dies. I already dislike him. That's right. Wanyu Angel, grow big quickly. Kill Stark. Asgard. Loki yawned gracefully. It's over. At the moment, Stark and Yinsen gestured anxiously. They both saw something was wrong with the feathers. Whatever it is, it must be dangerous. The soldier became even more angry and didn't notice at all. Wanyu Angel quickly grew bigger and taller behind him. Until Wanyu Angel expanded to 3 meters tall. Huge amounts of shadow hung over him. Moreover, although he roared angrily, his voice was very small. Because Wanyu Angel swallowed up his voice. Only then did he realize something was wrong. Turn around. Wanyu Angel looked at him in horror and screamed. At the same time, pour firepower towards it. However, the sound of gunshots was as small as mosquitoes and flies. Because 10,000 feathers Angel devoured them. The bullets do cause a large number of feathers to fall, but the growth rate of Wanyu Angel is much greater than the falling rate. The screams and gunshots made Wanyu Angel grow bigger. Its wings are constantly changing, growing from small to large, covering the entire body. Because the soldier was too close, Wanyu Angel instantly stretched out his wings and swept him in. The moment when you were wrapped in soft wings, countless small and sharp thorns instantly pierced into his flesh and blood. The neurotoxin was injected into his body all at once. As the wings squirmed, hundreds of thousands of spikes were constantly stirring inside his body. Every piece of his flesh, every blood vessel, and every inch of nerve was covered in extreme pain. Neurotoxins plus the pain caused by thousands of needles cannot be endured by willpower. The soldier's face suddenly twitched and twisted, his eyes were red, his mouth was very big, and veins popped out all over his body. However, there was no sound. Because Wanyu Angel swallowed up his screams. This weird yet real scene shocked Tony and Yinsen, as well as everyone under the light curtain. I have goosebumps all over my body. This looks so painful. There are thorns all over the body, and they are being pulled constantly. Oh my god, this is probably the most cruel torture. I can't even die even if I want to. If this thing were in front of me, I would just shoot myself to save myself from torture. I can't bear to watch it, it's too cruel. Under the screams of the soldiers, Wanyu Angel expanded rapidly. Soon, half of the cave was occupied. This speed made Nick Fury's pupils shrink suddenly. He still underestimated Wanyu Angel. If the expansion continues like this, the sound insulation materials brought over may not be enough. Yinsen's voice trembled, and there was fear in his eyes. What kind of monster is this? Tony immediately covered his mouth, Shut up. At the moment, the door opens. A large number of soldiers rushed in. They were really shocked when they saw Wanyu Angel. So, he poured firepower on it. However, doing so will only make it bigger. Soldiers one after another were pulled closer to the feathers. They were twisting in pain, trying to reach out for help, but they couldn't make any sound. A soldier tried to pull his brother out, but he was swept in two. Group after group of soldiers came and became the prisoners of Wanyu Angel. Such an intense scene was as quiet as a library. It's really weird. At the moment, a smart soldier brought the flamethrower. He roared. Raging flames spurted towards Wanyu Angel. Wanyu Angel's feathers were burnt to a large extent. However, the crackle of burning and the noise of the flamethrower brought Wanyu Angel far more growth than loss. Definitely, all these sounds have been absorbed, so people under the light curtain can't hear anything. But I can clearly feel the desperate oppression of Wanyu Angel. No matter what method you use, it will only make it grow faster. At the moment, Tony and Dr. Yinsen exchanged glances in the cave. They plan to find an opportunity to escape from here. More and more soldiers have become Wanyu Angel's tool men. It expanded like a wriggling balloon. Soon, the cave could no longer support his size, and cracks began to appear. Tony and Yinsen immediately ran towards the exit. Debris constantly falls overhead. When they reached the open door, the two of them immediately jumped forward. At the same time, there was a boom. The cave behind him collapsed instantly. Tony's chest heaved violently. This thing should have been crushed to death. As soon as he breathed a sigh of relief, he saw a sphere made of huge amounts of feathers, pushing away the gravel and growing constantly. Tony's smile disappeared instantly. On Wanyu Angel's huge amounts of wings, countless little people are squirming. If they could hear their screams, I'm afraid anyone would understand what hell is. Shet. Stark cursed, pulled Yinsen up, and started running. However, Wanyu Angel's expansion speed is extremely fast. Soon, a shadow that covered the sky enveloped Stark and Yinsen. Stark's heart skipped a beat. In his mind, the scene of being pulled into the feathers and life worse than death appeared. Wanyu Angel is also very close to Stark. Even, it has stretched out those huge amounts of wings. Under the light curtain, Stark's fans were anxious. Stark, run. It's over, it's getting closer. There was a trace of despair in Stark's eyes. Although he didn't stop running, a revolving door had already appeared in his mind. The female celebrities who spent the night with her. And Pepper Potts' face. Stark didn't understand why he thought of Pepper at the last moment of his life. But, none of this matters anymore. He could even feel the strong wind pressure on his back. At this critical moment, a beautiful bell rang. Pleasant goat, beautiful goat, lazy goat. Stark was stunned. He thought he had already gone to heaven. Looking up, I saw several heavily armed soldiers holding huge amounts of stereos. There was rhythmic singing that he didn't understand but was playing on the speakers. Stark was shocked and looked back. Wanyu Angel's terrifying wings were only 10 centimeters away from him. If it were even a tenth of a second later, he would feel what real pain was. The people of the Dragon Kingdom under the light curtain immediately recognized this song. Isn't this the joyful theme song? My favorite drama. Is that agent from the East? Why does he play cheerful music? Look, Wanyu Angel's actions have stopped. Could it be that he likes Shi Yangyang very much? Do you still remember? The light screen said before that Wanyu Angel likes rhythmic sounds the most. This may be the key to dealing with him, but we all ignored it. Ancient One also lowered his fingers. As long as Stark is not in danger, there is no need for him to take action. Stark plays an important role in the future she sees. So he must not die. At least, not now. Colonel Rhodes thumped his chest hard. The expression on his face was that of surviving a disaster. It was as if he was the one who almost died just now. But he's weird. Why does something so scary stop moving because of a children's song? Nick saw the Foundation's logo on the agent's back. Just sighed. This Foundation seems to know everything. S.H.I.E.L.D. seems unable to keep up with them. Asgard. Loki rubbed his chin. It seems that there are smart people among monkeys, but it's a pity that they are still very small. He turned around. Through the window, he looked at Thor, who was eating and drinking with his teammates from a distance. I really envy you for living so carefree, my good brother. He aimed his sight at the light curtain again. He was also a little curious about what the inside of Wan Yu Angel's wings looked like. At the moment, everyone on Earth is staring at the screen. They wanted to know what would happen next. Tony and Yinsen ran away quickly. It goes on with joyful music. Wan Yu Angel's growth rate gradually slowed down until it stopped. Then, under the surprised eyes of everyone, Wan Yu Angel slowly spread his wings. Tens of thousands of huge amounts of wings unfold slowly, layer by layer. Under the sun, that magnificent scene. It was as if there were literally tens of thousands of angels spreading their wings at the same time. Wan Yu Angel's wings continue to expand until the last level. Inside is the true form of Wan Yu Angel. Hurry up, unfold it quickly. Ah, what is Wan Yu Angel's true identity? Wow, hurry up, I'm so anxious. Nick Fury said sullenly, come on, let me see your face. I don't believe what kind of baby you are. Loki was also very interested. Could such a cruel creature be a baby? No matter what, it is still a weak thing. Under the expectation of everyone, Wan Yu Angel's last layer of feathers slowly unfolded. That moment, golden light filled the air. This light is different from the dazzling sunlight. Rather, it is full of warmth and divinity. It was as if the entire earth had been turned into a cathedral. All people, whether they believed in God or Shiva, Buddha or Muhammad, or atheists, all held their breath. They could not look away, they were attracted by the divine radiance. With the wings fully unfolded, a baby, all white and full of holiness, appeared in front of everyone. Everyone was stunned, although, no one has ever seen Angel. But the moment I saw this baby, everyone knows it deep down. He is an angel. Nick's old face, which he had always carried on his arm, was also stunned. He couldn't say a word. The always arrogant Tony Stark. His eyes were also full of reverence and yearning. The Ancient One looked at the baby, shocked by it. She had never seen anything so beautiful. Even Loki couldn't help but be fascinated by it. He clearly felt the divinity contained in the baby. Moreover, it is bottomless. I must be too tired to have the illusion. Loki stared at Angel and murmured, there cannot be gods in the Midgard world. Earth, holy light shines. No words can describe the magnificence. Under the watchful eyes of everyone, Wan Yu Angel's wings began to dance again. In an instant, it took off. However, the speed is not as fast as everyone imagined. Just like that, it flew straight into the sky. It seems that he is trying hard to reach a certain goal. As it flew into the air, Wan Yu Angel's wings began to fall. One by one, then several more. But it didn't stop and kept flying. The higher it flies, the more of its wings fall off. The wings have been visibly reduced. It's also slower. By the time it got close to the clouds, 80% of its wings had fallen off. But still didn't stop. Until, he only had the last pair of wings left. No way up. No matter how hard its wings flapped, Wan Yu Angel kept falling. Everyone's eyes followed him as he slowly fell. Finally, Wan Yu Angel fell into a dense jungle. He transformed into his initial form again, with his wings wrapped around his curled up body. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and support my channel.